Welcome to Bloomington Today. I'm Kaylin Clement. Thanks for joining us. Today, we're excited to bring viewers our 2013 Year in Review, where we'll recap all of the biggest events, projects, and news that happened in the city over the past year. In September, a long-awaited question surrounding Bloomington's old Cedar Avenue Bridge was finally answered. Learn whether the council voted to rehabilitate or replace this vital connection for pedestrians and bikers. It's been the question on the minds of many for years, to replace or rehabilitate the old Cedar Avenue Bridge. Funding either option has always been the hang-up.
For many years, we've looked at a number of different alternatives that would match the funding we had available. And typically, the maximum was about $5 million, which only allowed a limited number of those options to be explored. This past legislative session, the legislature, with a great help of our local delegation and Representative Lecheski, made available additional funds that would fund a much wider range of options, including a rehabilitation of the existing bridge.
At the September 9th Bloomington City Council meeting, a decision was made.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed? No. Motion prevails with Wilcox and Halting opposed.
The bridge's recent induction into the National Register of Historic Places likely impacted the 5-2 vote to fix the bridge rather than rebuild it.
The bridge is considered to be historically significant because it is multiple spans of a camelback truss, and there's not many of those left in the state. The construction is that it is a steel structure that's riveted together, which makes it somewhat unique in today's bridge building industry.
According to Keel, the old Cedar Avenue Bridge was given to the city by the Minnesota Department of Transportation following the construction of the new Highway 77 bridge.
As we restore it, this is going to become part of an important regional connection across the Minnesota Valley. And it's been the city's position that we would hope that at some point we'll be able to transfer ownership back to a state or regional organization for its long-term maintenance.
The rehabilitated bridge could be reopened as soon as 2 years from now, if all goes accordingly. But now that there's a plan in place, what's next?
The next step is to get the environmental documentation approved by the federal government. Because this project is using federal dollars and it goes through federal lands, the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service property, you need to go through an environmental document that looks at a wide range of things, including endangered species, impacts to adjoining residences, etc., including historic preservation issues. And so this documentation addresses all those issues and hopefully resolves all of them.
One thing is certain, a long-awaited connection will definitely be restored across Long Meadow Lake in the coming years.
We would start design work this coming summer, the summer of 2014. Hopefully we would start construction the following winter, so that'd be approximately January 1st of 2015. And if that all goes well, the bridge should be open for folks to use by the fall of 2015.
Bloomington's team of firefighters are in the business of saving lives, protecting property, and preventing fire emergencies. And this past year, they added to their resumes by becoming wish granters. Bloomington's team of firefighters are in the business of saving lives, protecting property, and preventing fire emergencies. And recently, they added to their resumes by becoming wish granters. Meet 4-year-old Brady Nelson. Brady loves to play with his 2 older brothers. He loves Elmo, and for being only 4, he knows exactly what he wants to be when he grows up.
Just asked him just the other day, what would you like to do, Brady? And he says, I want to be a fireman. And he loves everything to do with the ladders and the hoses and just the whole sheer excitement of like the big adventure of where they're going and just to help people.
When the Bloomington Fire Department caught wind of little Brady's dream, they pulled out all the stops to show him what firefighting was all about.
Being a firefighter is more than just being a firefighter. We're out in the community, we like to help the community, and the community comes to us and asks us for a favor, we're going to give it to them. And yes, kids are, that's a soft spot in our heart, man. We love kids, so we're going to do that without a doubt.
But before fighting fires, Brady and his family have a different kind of fight ahead of them. On April 4th, 2013, Brady's golden birthday, Lori and David Nelson took Brady into the emergency room.
What a surprise we had, though, when we spoke with the doctor in the emergency room down at Children's. He says, you know, what symptoms did he have again? He got sick once a week for 3 weeks straight. I said, yep. And he says, starts to walk a little bit sideways. Yep. Okay, we'll get a CT scan on him right away. So I knew, okay, he's thinking something else. Sure enough, the scan came back, and he had a mass on the back of his head, ended up being a brain tumor. And the tumor is called a medulloblastoma, and it's a cancerous tumor. And it's, I mean, talk about a shock to us for just a couple headaches previous, and then 1 day a week of just, you know, not feeling well like that is all it took. And the symptoms just, to me, they're really not profound enough to actually cause concern like that.
The tumor was removed, but cells were discovered in Brady's spine. The Nelsons will soon travel to Chicago, where Brady will undergo 6 months of proton radiation treatment, 5 days a week. But today, he wasn't a sick little boy. He was a firefighter.
We've got some stuff for him. We got a t-shirt for him, a water bottle and stuff like that. We'll let him go through the trucks, look at some of the equipment. Maybe we'll have him flow a little water. I mean, it'll be a good time for the kid.
Even presented with a plaque making him an official honorary member of the Bloomington Fire Department. David calls his son a fighter and knows that this experience with the Bloomington Fire Team will only strengthen him so that one day he will be driving this truck and wearing this uniform himself.
It was kind of a rare thing today to see him this quiet. He's not normally like that. He's always just bundles of smiles and just giggles and laughs. So he's a little bit shy today, but I definitely know that, I mean, from, you know, I just know as a parent, knowing how he is, what his interests and likes are, oh my gosh, this is absolutely incredible for him. And I know when we hop in our truck on a ride home, he's going to be talking my ear off, I guarantee. Say, Daddy, can you believe we did this? We saw that. So I know that is a fact. But it was absolutely incredible, and I thank everybody for this opportunity, for sure. On behalf of myself, the Nelson family, and Brady especially, it was just a terrific event.
Improvements to the I494 corridor through Bloomington wrapped up in 2013, improving traffic flow, preparing for future expansion, and one project in particular had quite an impact on commuters in Bloomington. The Xerxes Avenue Bridge spanning I-494 was originally constructed in 1960, and after years of serving motorists, an update was in order.
The existing Xerxes Avenue Bridge served the public well for a number of years. However, it was built to an older standard. The vertical clearance between the bottom of the bridge and the freeway deck was a little smaller than we'd like now for some of the larger special permit traffic that moves through the corridor. It was also a little bit of a narrower bridge. The pedestrian facilities weren't as comfortable as you'd see now on a modern bridge.
In August of 2012, Minnesota Department of Transportation crews began removing the old bridge, requiring motorists to find an alternative route for a key connection between the cities of Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield for 11 months. And on June 14, 2013, the new and improved bridge opened to residents.
One of the things that's most important is getting you to where you want to go the way you want to get there. The Xerxes Bridge is key in that effort. So as you can see, it's incorporated pedestrian facilities. You've got nice wide sidewalks. It's got bike lanes. So if you want to ride to see your friends in Edina or Richfield, it's also got vehicle lanes to maintain the capacity for cars.
A few items are yet to be completed, including grass seating and some painting on the bridge deck. But Roberts said motorists are already seeing the shift in focus when it comes to transportation improvements in the area.
With the completion of the Xerxes Avenue Bridge across the 494, work now primarily shifts to the surface of the interstate. So in the next couple of months, you're going to see a lot of pavement rehabilitation taking place on the 494 corridor. And then beyond that, work shifts to the east side of the city in the South Loop District, where capacity, safety, and mobility improvements are taking place there.
Another important element in place when it comes to building an efficient and improved transportation system in and around Bloomington. Following the completion of the Penn American Phase 1 project in 2012, which brought retail, rental, and office space to the corner of Penn Avenue and American Boulevard, we patiently waited to hear plans for the area just north of the site. And in September, we found out what was in store for Penn American Phase 2. Take a look. Underutilized. That is how city officials once described the southeast corner of Penn Avenue and American Boulevard.
It's near 35W and 494, a few blocks away, but close and has good access to it. And before, the site was underutilized. There was an auto dealership that was closed. There was another one existing, but there was a closed car wash here as well. And I think the potential of the site was apparent to everyone. But the question was, how do you redevelop it, and what do you put there if you do?
And after nearly a decade of brainstorming and planning by the City of Bloomington, United Properties, and Stewart Co., Penn American Phase 1 became a reality of retail, restaurants, and rental housing in 2012. Seeing the success of Phase 1 only excites Grout at the possibilities that are coming with Phase 2.
What we're looking at is a grocery store, a smaller grocery store, more of a neighborhood market with shared parking. And on the west side of the site, we're looking at a 5-story mixed-use retail, office, and hotel, with the restaurant also.
The vision for the district also includes projects that will improve transportation access through the area.
We've been working with the Bloomington Planning Department on how to plan for transportation enhancements as they come up in the future. And there will be an orange line, which is a bus rapid transit line along American Boulevard. We think that in the future as well, there'll be a larger transit station located either around 35W or on the eastern edge of this development district on Knox.
According to Grout, redevelopments benefit not just the area, but the city as a whole.
Cities like Bloomington just don't have a lot of undeveloped land, so what you have to do is look for areas to create new development, which also creates jobs, it creates places for people to live.
Penn American Phase 2 is expected to be completed in early 2015. It's now time for a short break, but don't go anywhere. When we come back, we'll have more of 2013's Bloomington Today Year in Review show. Welcome back, everyone. Let's head into the city's South Loop district now. If you travel through that area, you may have noticed that redevelopment efforts are in full force. But when it comes to transformation, construction is just one piece of the puzzle. The vision is clear: to take 2,300 acres on the east side of Bloomington and transform it into a vibrant, sustainable, and distinctive place for residents and businesses to flourish.
There is a lot of significance because actually over the next 40 years, 2/3 of Bloomington's growth potential is going to be realized in the South Loop. And it's going to be realized in a very different way from how growth has occurred historically in other parts of Bloomington. The vision is to really make this area urban in feel as opposed to suburban.
Work is already underway in the South Loop district. Buildings have come down and the Lindau Lane extension is moving forward, literally. The Killebrew pedestrian bridge is nearing its fall 2013 completion, and the I494 34th Avenue diverging diamond interchange is already a few phases into construction. But if you ask Bloomington Theater and Arts Center Executive Director Andrea Specht, when it comes to transformation, construction is just one piece of the puzzle.
Often what people love about a city environment is the diversity in all kinds of what they see. So diversity of people around them, but also diversity of architecture, lots of interesting visual elements that make a place feel different. So art and artists can play a really key role in bringing that sense of distinctiveness to an area like the South Loop.
And grant money recently awarded to the city will play a huge role in the artistic makeover of this district.
The grant it just really presents us with an amazing opportunity. It's a $100,000 grant from the National Endowment for the Arts, and it's a matching grant, which means that we have to find from other sources at least $100,000. And we already know, for the most part, where that funding will be coming from. It will be a combination of city funding and also private sources. So really the total cost of the project or investment is over $265,000.
A portion of the funds will go toward a planning campaign to establish a lasting artistic presence in the district after the 2-year grant period ends. But also,
my best guess is that it's going to be a combination of more tangible projects, again, like sculpture or murals, but also perhaps some temporary projects. So imagine something like really interesting projections on the side of buildings at night, interesting things being done with light. So there are a variety of things that can be done.
From its close proximity to the Minneapolis-St. Paul Airport, the ideal location for various transportation forms, or the Minnesota Valley National Wildlife Refuge along its border, it's no doubt the South Loop District is one of a kind. Bringing art into the area is sure to only enhance the lasting impression visitors to Bloomington's South Loop District are sure to experience. I'm Kaylin Cockrell reporting for Bloomington Today and keeping you in the loop. We documented the construction progress for 18 months, and in March, the first hotel to be physically connected to the Mall of America welcomed its first guests. The Radisson Blue Mall of America Hotel is said to be one of a kind. It could be the Scottish designer's unique concepts, like the tissue paper in a shopping bag inspiration that can be found on the walls throughout the lobby. Or maybe it's the repurposed wood that came from barns throughout Minnesota that make up the Fire Lake Grill House and Cocktail Bar. Or perhaps it's the direct connection to the Mall of America via Skyway that gives this hotel the stamp of one of a kind. And on Friday, March 15th, when the doors opened to guests, people came.
We had about 280 guests checking in. 280 guests translates to about 400 guests staying in the hotel. That's quite a lot for an opening weekend. We had a private function, and we said to ourselves at 5 o'clock, we had a barricade in front of the hotel. Me and my boss moved it to the side. 5 minutes later, the first guest came in.
This is the second Radisson Blue out of 266 currently open in the United States. Gorstein described the Blue brand as modern, even edgy.
It's an upper scale luxury service, basically. It's all about the service and the little touches that you see around. And that's what Radisson decided to touch on.
And just about everything, from the chairs in the lobby to the art on the walls, has a local inspiration behind it.
The whole local theme that goes with the art starts in the carpet in the lobby. This carpet, if you look from upstairs, is a topography of Minnesota. You have the different shades of greens that shows the different colors of the topography of Minnesota. You see the lakes, you see the wheat, you see the different greens that basically translates to that. We have the nest that basically shows that basically we have a lot of wildlife. The refuge is around the corner on the left side of the hotel, but also for kids and families to sit in there and get together as a family. Then you go upstairs to the right side, we have a whole art gallery on the walls. Those are all local, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Twin Cities, and also from Minnesota artists.
Not a bad way to relax. In addition to guests, the Radisson Blue Mall of America welcomed 200 enthusiastic and excited hospitality industry employees on board upon opening.
It was just like coming to a place like Disney. And it is, for me, it still feels like Disney because I still find it like Disney. People are smiling. My employees are awesome.
Since mid-2011, we've watched the Radisson Blue Mall of America Hotel transform to what it is today, and we'd like to officially welcome them to Bloomington's hospitality industry.
Radisson Blue and myself and my team are ready to be here in Bloomington. Thank you, Bloomington.
The 18-month Healthy Living campaign, built on the partnership between the cities of Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield, along with Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota, wrapped up this year. But the Healthy Living initiatives kept moving steadily ahead in the city. The Do Town campaign began with a bang. These are city leaders, representatives from Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Minnesota, residents, and of course the mayors of Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield, grooving around Normandale Lake at the kickoff event in September of 2011.
Over the last 18 months, we've been able to work through the Do Town campaign, which was the combination of the three cities, Bloomington, Edina, and Richfield, to be able to make it a much more public rollout of how to improve the health of individuals. The thing is that many of our health problems with the ever-increasing health care costs have resulted from various human behaviors, some of which can be prevented through doing things such as reducing further the smoking, dealing with obesity, and also improving physical activity.
Providing opportunities for healthy living is not a task with one solution. Here are a handful of the Do Town sponsored events we saw take place in Bloomington during the course of the Do Town campaign. All the while, resident feedback was sought. For example, various chalkboards were placed around the city where residents could leave suggestions on healthy living, and a telephone town hall with Mayor Winstead was held. That information collected isn't going to waste. SHIP officials are taking full advantage of that resident input.
SHIP is, it stands for the Statewide Health Improvement Program, and that is funding from the state of Minnesota Department of Health that the city of Bloomington has been receiving since 2009. Do Town was designed to be, in some ways, sort of an overlay to the SHIP work, and it provided a greater level of visibility within the community. One of the big outcomes of Do Town is that we now have a database of over 1,500 Bloomington residents who are particularly interested in creating a city that supports healthy living and healthier lives for them. Another piece is that a bike advisory group got started, which is made up of Bloomington residents who are interested in making Bloomington a more bike-friendly city.
To continue to spread the word about active living, we created a segment where we demonstrated some fun activities in Bloomington. Whether it be canoeing at Bush Lake, mountain biking in the Minnesota Valley National Wildlife Refuge, or snowshoeing at Richardson Nature Center, we checked many ways to stay healthy off our to-do lists.
And we will continue to do things that will enhance the behaviors. We're currently working to update our alternative transportation program. SHIP 3 is coming along. We're looking to expand community gardens. So there are a number of things that we will be able to do to advance this. Do Town was an 18-month program. It was a step in the process towards an ever more sustainable community.
And as the door on Do Town closes, more are set to open in Bloomington.
We will continue to do many of the healthy food sorts of things, trying to increase the healthy options in our popular sort of venues, as well as in schools, work sites, all of that. Continuing to work on making Bloomington a city where it's safe and easy to be physically active, and continue on a variety of tangents sort of to prevent tobacco use and excessive alcohol use.
Healthy residents make for better overall health of a city, and we're looking forward to seeing Bloomington continue to move towards such a tremendous goal. Thousands of acres are dedicated to parks and open spaces in the city, and lots of updates and improvements this year enhanced what some may call Bloomington's greatest amenity. With temperatures lingering right around freezing, it's a likely assumption that Bloomington parks go without visitors. But Parks and Recreation Assistant Manager Greg Boatman would disagree.
The parks in Bloomington are one of the most active places year-round, especially in the winter. We've got our skating rinks, sledding hills, snowman making, all kinds of great winter activity going on here in Bloomington.
One park sees just as much action, both two-legged and four-legged, during the winter months as it does in the spring and summer. And with use of Bloomington's off-leash dog recreation area increasing, the city's Parks and Recreation Division felt some much-needed improvements were due here.
There are two major parts of the improvements out here to our off-leash area. The dogs are going to benefit from one of them greatly. We're going to be putting in lighting in our parking lot, and what's really cool about that is that it'll provide opportunity for safe entrance and exit for our patrons of the park, as well as we're going to add some lighting that'll be shining into the off-leash area here, so that users that would like to come out into the later parts of the evening will also be able to see where they're going as they enter and exit our off-leash area. The best part, the most exciting part, is the one that has been requested for years, is we're going to be able to bring water on site. Drinking water for both dogs and humans. There's a specially designed drinking fountain that'll have a human drinking fountain on top, a little dog bowl on the bottom, and then the cool part that we added to it is that we're going to have a hose connected to it, so that people who let their dogs run and get a little dirty when they're out here, maybe get a little wet from swimming in the pond, they will be able to clean their dogs off before they go home.
Frequent visitors to the off-leash dog area are thrilled.
It'll be very nice to have some lighting in here in the evening.
I can't believe how many dogs are out here during the week and on the weekends and everything. So it's great to have a place for our dogs to be able to run and play and not be leashed up.
Other park improvement projects will be underway in the coming months as well, including new playground equipment at Southwood Park, fall ball netting at Dred Scott Ball Fields, and
at Maplewood Park, that's going to see the largest facelift of any of our parks this year. They'll be tearing down the old warming house building there, constructing a new gazebo, constructing some off-street parking, so we'll actually have a parking lot there at Maplewood Park, and new playground container and new playground equipment, as well as some new trails that are going through the park. So it's really, really exciting.
And remember, parks are maintained and ready for use year-round, so get outside and enjoy them. And that's all the time we have for today. To get more information on city projects, parks, road construction, and events, visit the city's website. If you saw something today you'd like to see again or send to a friend, visit the city's YouTube channel, accessible right from the city's homepage, to check out these short single segments. That and so much more is online right now at www.ci.bloomington.mn.us. If Facebook or Twitter isn't for you, sign up for eSubscribe to have updates sent right to your email or cell phone. I'm Kaylin Clement, and you're watching Bloomington Today's 2013 Year in Review show. This was made possible by the City of Bloomington's Communications Division. Happy holidays, and thanks so much for joining us.